Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. It's now time to review headlines of today's newspapers. So shall we get into it?
All right, so we start straight on with This Day on Saturday, our sister newspaper. Here the lead story says Buhari backs aggrieved politicians' right to seek redress, urges patience with legal system. That's the president saying this during his 2023 Easter message to Nigerians. It was issued yesterday, being Good Friday, Easter Friday, which is an important thing to say at this time. Wait for the courts to decide.
Yes, there's a due process.
Exactly. But nobody should be denied their right to seek redress and go to court. And I think that, well, of course, we know that the president is already happy. And I think that one of the things he said, which is key, referring to about 8 or 10 sitting governors who lost their bid to go to the Senate. So what the president was saying on that occasion was that, you see, what I desired is now working, that it is the electorate that will decide your fate. The era of people writing results, etc., which in a way, I know what you're trying to think, but which in a way suggests that he's satisfied with the conduct of the election, in spite of areas that may not be satisfactory: violence, IREV, not voter suppression, IREV not working at a particular time. But of course, if you look at it truly, and you see many sitting governors losing their states, those who desire to go to the Senate not going there, you may be tempted to think that there's a modicum of credibility, to that process. Maybe it's not perfect. Maybe there were specific irregularities that certain parties, PDP, Labour Party, AC, and a few others who have gone to court are picking holes in. And the president is saying that by all means, approach the court, seek redress, but then he's urging patience with the legal system. Unfortunately, we are not like Ghana, where all electoral, the tribunal cases, etc., will be done with in 30 days. Here, the Electoral Act says it's 180 days, which means that the likelihood that whoever was declared winner will be sworn in on May 29 before the final determination of the court is there. Yeah. There are people like Olusegun Agbako SAN who's saying that shouldn't there be a way for the judiciary to fast track this thing so that we know truly who has won the election and who will be affirmed by the courts. But then isn't it sad that every now and then we'll have to wait for a second level of determination from the courts, rather than the Nigerians and the people who said that this candidate A or B or C should be the president.
And there is a train of thought that there are even persons who, after these rulings might come out, might now decide to now take it again to the Supreme Court. So it might not even just end there. We might still see an elongation of this process. But one thing is for sure, because having an interim government is not something that is constitutional. Come May 29th,
there won't be. There really won't be. I'm just shocked that so many people are given seriousness to that ridiculous idea. How will it happen? No law backs it. It's not going to happen. Except, of course, you're calling for a coup, and no will call for a coup, because at the end of the day, who will benefit? Except you're saying that if I can't get it, then nobody else will. I believe that the president-elect will be sworn in on May 29th. We do not know what will come out of it. Just like you said, if it gets to the Supreme Court. But I believe that nothing will change May 29, except, of course,
an act of God.
I'm not sure that will be an act of God, but let's see how it goes. On top of that lead story is the story that has been trending since yesterday. Soyinka challenges Baba Ahmed to debate, nudges obedience, says the seed of incipient fascism in the political arena have evidently matured, which is part of what we asked our guest earlier, Chris, Nwakobia, still in this day, I'm not sure if the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party will see the need to want to have a debate with Professor Wole Soyinka. What will be the point? What will be what are they going to be arguing about? He has made his point, and I think that part of what people do is to now look for references to back what he has said. And part of the references that the obedience are pulling out, of course, are the things that have been said in the past, by...
Which is not necessarily the way to go. Two wrongs don't make it right. The fact that, the opposition parties have done that in the past doesn't make it okay for you to do it now. If you're trying to show Labour Party to be a party that does it differently, then act differently, Yeah. So you can't
I agree with you, but what they will be pointing at will be that if the reasons are adduced, as at that time, especially when the same person who was in the position at that time, the gentleman, a law professor, a pastor, who is now the sitting vice president, he was like Dati Ahmed in 2014-2015 as the candidate, who said that no, you will not be running foul of any law if you feel that your mandate has been stolen, from you, and then you decide to form a parallel government. Lai Mohammed, the Minister of Information, even said things in a far more caustic way, in a different way. So it's deja vu. We're back to that period, when things were tough, when, words were said that shouldn't have been said, but then did they lead to the sort of fear that those who are now sitting in government are afraid of? That's what a lot of people are saying. But again, as we said, we'll be interested in the sort of debate that Professor Wole Soyinka had. Maybe the obedience can say, for example, no, don't debate with Baba Dati Ahmed, debate with, what's her name? The Chimamanda, for example, who has written President Biden to say don't congratulate those people, and stuff, But then we know how it is. Interesting days, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, then let's move on to our next newspaper here, the Saturday Punch. The headline story there reads, 5-star retirement. Matawale, Wike, Okowa, Umahi, Ganduje to get mansions and exotic cars. Ebonyi, Enugu, Jigawa, and other governors to receive similar benefits. I mean, I've always thought that the retirement packages for governors are a bit too much. I understand that you serve the people, but remain something for your states now.
I mean, the funny part of it really is the word retirement. Spending a maximum of 8 years serving your people and then getting all these humongous, outlandish retirement package.
And people that still
when you are not
Senate.
Retiring, when it is likely that you either move on to the Senate, which has become somewhat of something of a retirement home for many governors, or you become a vice president, as is the case, with Shetima, for example, or a president. If that happens, the argument that a lot of people are making is that will you therefore be entitled to retirement when the state of Nigeria will still be paying you, But then who do you blame? Is it those who will benefit from these 5-star retirement packages, or the houses of assembly that actually sign off on all these things? There was a time, I believe in a few states, Lagos inclusive, that even the principal officers of the House of Assembly were thinking of retirement package for themselves before people shut down that ridiculous idea, to say that, what are you talking about? Because that anomaly is working for certain people, governors, etc., you too want to benefit. I mean, there must be a limit to how much you can pillage the Nigerian purse. This whole idea of a national cake and just bringing different types of knives and cutlery,
I mean, we're just talking to Dr. Blossom about the fact that the budget for healthcare is not enough. I mean, those are the kind of places that could be a plug and play. I mean, you reduce the amount of monies that these people are getting, and then you plug it into something that actually needs more money for it. But that's
is that the only story that you want us to touch in the Punch?
Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I saw this human interest story. I fell in love immediately. I saw about Akombi Oluwo's wife. That's Oluwo of Iwo. I wanted to say that we have not had much from this very dramatic monarch, you know, in a long while, because, you know, I mean, he has a way with words. He has a way with, you know, I said, you know, different funny things in the past, and he has also had his fair share of dramas and scandals, you know, if you like. But I like the fact that his wife is now saying that, oh, this is...
As soon as she saw him, she fell in love.
So that's a good one for Kabiyesi Akombi, you know, so I thought that we should do that. Let's move to Saturday Vanguard, you know, where the lead story says how incoming president can secure us. That's a major story where the Vanguard has interviewed different people. Nigerians are speaking, and what is uppermost are talking about the herdsmen attack, banditry, kidnapping, and they're saying how incoming president can secure. I think it is important for the handlers of the president-elect to take a look at this story, this, you know, a brilliant story from Saturday Vanguard. New president must retrieve ancestral homes seized by bandits. I think that's an important one. Just like Vanguard is drawing attention on page 9 to Benue herdsmen attack, death toll hits 51. I mean, anywhere in the world where 50 people, 51 people were killed, I mean, there would be a kind of national outrage.
Yes.
But here, it looks like we're used to the numbers, and nobody seems to bother.
I mean, definitely.
We discussed Kaduna, you know, earlier in the program.
And of course, even the bandits abducting 80 children in Zamfara. I mean, there are lots of things that the president-elect will to be the president when he's sworn in on May 29th has to look into. I mean, one being, of course, the fuel subsidy, but insecurity. Yeah. Very important. We need to curb kidnapping.
Is the key one, which is why a lot of people are saying that if we have had a retired general from the north for almost 8 years, who you say that yes, he has his own successes here and there, but then we're still dealing with the issues of kidnappings and terror, etc. You know, is it a city boy from Lagos who does not have a military experience? Exactly, but you never know, which is actually where I'm going to say that. Don't think that it's only a general that can secure people. One more interesting story in today's Vanguard. Labour Party on Obi's travels. They tried to entrap him with women, dug into his finances, bank accounts. Now they plan more attack, want him to flee Nigeria. So that's Labour trying to say that it looks like the ruling party and the state, you know, just to get him to back down. We don't. I mean, this is Labour Party speaking. You know, of course, you expect that spokespersons of either the APC or of the government, you know, will want to say that, hey, don't distract us. All we are saying is that go by your court cases and suits, you know, decently. Don't try to incite people. Don't, you know, bring in different things here and there that can muddle up the waters.
There is a story on there that caught my attention. Muyiwa Adetiba, the alleged leaked phone conversation, which has since gone viral, has shown how religion is manipulated for
it's a column.
Political gain.
He's a columnist, you know, Mr. Muyiwa Adetiba, veteran journalist, you know, editor, publisher. He's been a long-standing columnist with Saturday Vanguard, and I think he's delving into the issue of... but Chris Nwakobia made reference to it, and to say, you know, to queue behind what Peter Obi himself, you know, has said, so that it's fake. You know, it's fake. Nothing like that happened, and in any case, we are going to sue the platform that put that out, because to start with, whether it was real or not, it runs foul of the privacy laws of Nigeria, and if he's able to make an example of that platform, maybe that would be a kind of a basis, you know, for people to to begin to look at issues like this. You can't just be taping, wiretapping people and then releasing them and then making justification out of it, But then the yes daddy, okay daddy thing has now gone viral, has become the buzzwords. People are now wearing t-shirts, yes daddy,
Okay, daddy.
Trust Nigerians to make a joke of practically everything, everything in Nigeria.
I think there's still time for one more paper.
Yes, I think we can look at the Guardian. Yeah.
All right. The headline story there reads, The Guardian, Rivers governorship poll, tension as APC and others can't file petition at the tribunal. It says right there, I was rescued by PDP chieftains, not kidnapped. That's the APC lawyer clarifying. And then no petition received yet on governorship election tribunal. The mission has been accomplished according to PDP. Your thoughts on this, Steve?
Well, I mean, interesting, Rivers is a problem child, Rivers State, and we saw what happened last week with the candidate of the APC, being in the news. He was attacked, he went with the lawyers, to the party were first, arrested. They were not allowed to submit, their petition, etc. I mean, it's a mess in Rivers State, particularly between APC and Wike's PDP. The part of the interesting thing there is that it's almost looking like the national board of the party seems not to be interested in what is happening to the APC in Rivers State. And that gives verve to the suspicion that people are saying that could it be that because the APC at the national level, particularly with the candidate who is now the president-elect, is in bed with Wike's PDP in Rivers State, and therefore, what's his name, Tony Cole and the Rivers APC are just, winking in the dark. Nobody listens to them. The party is not with them. That's rather unfortunate. Just one key story again before we leave.
Of course.
The Guardian, Nigerians groan as cash crunch induces bleak Easter.
I'm one of these Nigerians.
I'm one of them too.
We're both groaning. We need cash to enjoy Easter. We really do. Well, of course, and even maybe it's going to be Easter tomorrow, Sunday. I'm not going to see you, so let me just say Happy Easter
Happy Easter to you
enjoy the weekend without
and
cash.
Enjoy the holidays. Thank you. All right, and that brings us to the end of the morning show today. Thank you for watching, and do stay safe. I'm Steve Ayorinde.
And I'm Shaiton Atigari from our entire team here in Lagos, Nigeria. Enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your day. Goodbye.